Welcome to this gentle adult yoga class. I'm going to go sit on my mat and you can join me. And you want to have a ball today. Okay, so finding a comfortable seat. We're going to start with some Om circles. So let's just take a moment to center ourselves, feeling the roots growing down from our sitting bones. Stretching up tall through the top of the head. Exhaling the shoulders down away from the ears. Bring the hands to the heart. So we're going to make a big breath in and then bring the hands back to the heart. We're going to share the sound of Om in 3 parts. So the sound of Om is broken down to Ah, O, We'll do each part and then we'll put the whole back together. Let's scoop up some earth energy. Make the sound Ah. Scoop up some earth energy. We'll make the sound Oo. Make the sound Did you notice the sound Ah came from your belly, the Oo came from your chest, and the came from your nasal cavity? So we're integrating the body with the sound as well. So now we'll put the whole thing together. Let's drop the hands, sit up tall, and let the head come down. And we'll gently roll the head from side to side. Warming up the muscles. Come back to center and look over your shoulder. Moving slowly, even pause. And back to center. And let your ear roll down. Inhale up and ear the other way. And with your ear towards your shoulder, turn your chin down. And roll your chin up. And roll the chin down. And roll the chin up. And one more time, roll the chin down. And roll the chin up. Ear to shoulder, back, center. Stretch up tall, shoulders relax. Bring your ear to the other side. And then roll the chin towards your armpit. And roll the chin up. Roll the chin down. And roll the chin up. Back to neutral, come back to center. Notice how you feel. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. Let's press them back. Bring them down. Press them forward. Squeeze them up. Press them back. Bring them down. Bring them forward. Squeeze them up. Press them back. Bring them down. Forward. Up. Back. Down. Forward. Let's relax. Take a breath. And we'll go the other way. Back. Up. Forward. Down. Back. Up. Forward. Down. Back. Up. Forward. Down. Back. Up. Forward and down and rest. Let's bring the elbows up and we'll draw some circles. Like we're stirring two big pots. And we'll draw some circles the other way. And we'll bring the hands in and out. And just rest for a moment. Feel that. And this time we'll slide our hands forward along a tabletop. And then we'll squeeze the elbows back as hard as you can. Feel your shoulder blades poking out. And feel your shoulder blades drawing towards each other. We'll do one more. And rest. And let's paint the wall as if you're flowing through waters. The fingertips are down, fingertips are up. It's floating those hands and arms up and down. And let's circle the wrists. And circle the other way. And then let's make fists and then sprinkle water. And then we'll claw the air. And just circle those arms as they come down. Take a breath. Let's open the eyes and mouth really wide. And squeeze everything. And stretch. Squeeze. and stretch and squeeze and stretch and squeeze and relax. Bring your hands together, rub them briskly, building up healing energy, and radiate that healing energy into your face. And while you've got your hands in the air, last one, thumb touching each finger into waking up different parts of your brain and working on arthritis in your fingers. Let's go backwards. Starting with the pinky. If you started with the pointer. Little brain game. Last one. And again, just shake it out as you come back to stillness. Stretching up tall, let's do some easy circling of the body. And circle the other way. Come to stillness. And every time you come to stillness, imagine exhaling roots and then inhaling up into the heavens, creating a nice long spine. And then perhaps you'd like to switch legs. We'll do some cat and dog. One more. Stillness. Come to an easy twist, bringing one hand to the knee and twisting around. And back to center, and we'll go the other way. Inhale tall and exhale twist. And back to center. Let's bring one hand to the floor and the other one up overhead. Big side stretch. And up and over the other way. And back to center. Bring the hands behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, bring your heart forward, stretch up. And then you can stay in easy pose or bring the soles of your feet together, making a perfect square with your legs, and inhale forward. If you're making that square with your legs, the top of your head or the forehead can land right inside your arches. Inhale back up. Way back into your easy pose, take a breath. Let's stretch out the legs. And you can come down onto your elbows if you like, and we'll bring one leg in and stretch it out. If this isn't comfortable, you can do this lying down. Rest that leg. Deep breath, bring the other leg in and stretch it out. And sitting back up, let's point and flex, point, 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 flex, point, point, flex. Point your toes, point your ankles, flex, point, point, flex, point, point, flex. Got it? And circle the ankles. And circle the other way. And windshield wiper the legs. Back down onto our elbows and bring one leg up. And if you can, bring that knee to the floor and stretch. If you can't, then you'll just stay this way. But we're trying to get the knee to the floor. So your heel is by your hip. And just stretching the front of that leg. Keeping the chest nice and lifted, don't collapse your back. Feel your spine supporting you. And just breathe. Back and bring the other leg up, or if you can, the knee down. Heel by your butt. If the knee doesn't come all the way to the floor, that's okay. Just trying to get a stretch in the front of your thigh. Mine feels very tight. And inhale back up and just press the legs. And one more windshield wiper. And come to stillness. All right, we're going to do some myofascial release with the ball. So fascia is a membrane that encases everything in the body, keeps the organs from just collapsing and falling all over the place. It's kind of like a plastic bag. And the fascia can get tight. So we're going to release the fascia by putting the ball underneath our calf. We're going to work on our calves. And you can work in the direction of the muscle or across the muscle. And across the muscle is really good. Or making a circle. So if you're just rolling up and down, finding any tight spots, rolling side to side over it. Whew. I found some spots. We're circling it. And if you want a little more intensity and you have the strength, you can pick yourself up off your butt and really get a good roll. But it works if you're sitting down as well. You go all the way up to your knee, all the way down to your ankle. But you're staying on the muscle. not on the joint. Side to side is a really good way to release. Lots of deep breaths. Mm. Mm. Hope you're having fun. Whew. Obviously, you're also bringing blood into the area, breaking up any toxic deposits, hitting some trigger points perhaps where there's pain. All right, have you done that side enough? You can continue on your own later. Let's just stop for a minute. Compare the two legs. And notice how you feel, because you might feel the energy moving. You know, I do. Lots of tingling in that leg. Okay, so then we'll do the other one. So I'm putting the ball under the fattest part of my calf, figuring that's where I need it the most, but wherever you need it. And again, side to side, up and down. This place not as bad. You probably find that too, that one side is different from the other. Again, up and down, side to side, especially good with circles, finding the sore spots. If you're feeling pretty aggressive, you can actually, and strong, you can come up off your butt and work a little harder. But you can get plenty still just sitting down. Deep breaths, breathing out all that tension and toxins. Mm. Mm. How's that? Have we done enough for today? And you can practice more on your own at home. All right, let's take that out. Take a moment to notice. I think a little Shavasana right now to let that integrate would be a really great idea. And while you have your ball and you're lying on your back, bend your knees, lift your buttock and roll onto one side. And you can do a little myofascial release here. There's a very big acupressure point in your buttock as well. So you can just roll around on your buttock and see what you find there. Mm. You can even just hang out. If you find a spot that's sore, you can just sort of hang out and let the ball press into it. You don't have to move around. It doesn't have to be so vigorous. Ooh. I think it's so funny how we think we're fun until we do this deep work. And then we discover all the pain that we've got that we're carrying that we're not aware of. So doing things like this myofascial release or acupressure work, really good for us. Let's take a moment. Feel that. I'm feeling that energy all the way down into my foot. Just letting that integrate for a few more breaths. And then pick up the other buttock and slide the ball underneath you and roll around on that side. Mm. 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 It's okay to moan and groan, whatever makes it work for you. And again, you can just hang out in a sore spot and just let the ball dig in. And when you feel it release, you can move to another spot, or you can roll around, whatever makes this work for you. I don't want to say whatever feels good. But remember, if there's any sharp pain, you do not want to do that. You just want to do that good pain. Ah, it's good pain. Again, this side doesn't feel as bad as the other. So isn't that interesting? It is to me that my left calf was worse and my right hip was worse. All right, and when you're ready, just come back to Shavasana and let the body integrate that. Just stay there for one more minute. So I keep my tennis ball in this handy dandy sack with another tennis ball. And you can do this with a sock and just tie a knot and have the two balls as close together as possible. I'm just not putting it back in because we're going to use it some more. And then you can lie on that, and I'll pretend these are the two balls. So you can put this behind your back and the empty spaces where your spine is, and then you can roll the balls up and down on either side of your spine. And that's an awesome thing to do. We can plan to bring two balls in a sock another time. And some of you have this, I believe. No, that was a different class I made it for. Anyway, so that's another thing we can do. All right. Let's come to standing. You have the ball handy between your feet. We'll come to Tadasana. Taking a few breaths here. Again, let's ground through the feet on the exhale. Draw earth energy up. Bring that earth, that cosmic energy down. And then we'll pick up the ball, pick up the foot and roll it. Roll the ball back and forth under your foot. I couldn't sleep last night. I had restless leg syndrome. So I got up and I did this and went back to bed. A happy camper. Again, if you find a sore spot and you want to dig in, or just hang out there, or pulse it. And let's put the ball down. And put your toes, wrap your toes around it. And give yourself a nice calf stretch. And then let's come back up and place the heel on top of the ball. And lean into that. And one more stretch nice and wide, getting the inside of your arch. And you get the outside of your toe as well. And one more roll back and forth. And then let's take a moment to compare the feet. And we'll do the other side. So rolling the ball forward and back, finding the sore spots, digging in, pulsing if you like, and just hanging out there, going side to side or circling. Also a good balance exercise, but you can do it holding onto a wall or a chair if you need to. And then we'll stretch out a little bit. Sorry. If the ball will cooperate to a wider step and getting the inside of the arch. And you can do the outside of the foot as well. Oh, that feels good. And let's bring that foot ball back in and place the ball of the toes and wrap your toes around the ball, giving yourself a nice calf stretch. And then place the heel on the ball and stretch. And one last rolling forward and back. And let's come to stillness. And feel the feet nice and open and able to connect to the earth. And we'll bring the ball between the heels. Find our drishti, add arms if that works for your shoulders. And stretch up tall. Lifting your heels off the floor if you feel safe to do so. And then and shake it out and put the ball aside. All right, let's do a little spinal work. Really need to wake up that spine a little more. There may be some half salutes. Inhaling and reaching up as you look up. Exhaling, swan dive over. Inhale, half lift, the fingers are on the floor or your legs so that your spine is straight. Exhale, surrender over, the spine rounds. Lift the head, the chest, press into the heels. Inhale, reaching up, looking up, and then hands to heart. Let's do 2 more half salutes, warming up the spine. Half lift. Surrender the head, let go if that's safe for you. Inhale up, reach up, look up. Anjali Mudra. Full breath here. And 1 more. We're going to add some lunge variations. So we'll start on the left leg. Exhale, fold. Half lift, send your left leg back into a lunge. And I love to do that little rock thing there. Oh, feel that stretch in the back of your calf. Press out through the heel. And then we'll gently lower the knee to the floor and point the toes. And inhale up into a warrior 1. You can bring your hands to steeple if that works for your shoulders. And do goddess. Or even keep your hands on your hips, whatever works for you. And let's bring the hands to the floor. Come to our high lunge. Step forward. Surrender over. Inhale up. And hands to heart. Other side, inhale. And fold. And send the right leg back into a lunge, and we'll do a little shimmy here. And place that knee on the floor, point your toes. Inhale, coming up into warrior 1. If you're doing the steeple, you might want to put your other thumb in front. You're looking forward or up, depending on your balance. Bring your heart forward, your shoulders down your back. And down. We're back to our high lunge. Step forward, surrender over. Inhale up. And hands to heart. We're going to add a twist this time. Inhale, we're going to start with the left leg and fold. Half lift, left leg steps back into a lunge. Let's lower that leg down. Inhale, our warrior 1. And then we're going to open towards the front knee into a twist. Bring the hands to the heart. Take that into a prayer twist if you like. Elbow on the opposite side of your knee. Pressing down to help you spin and look up. If that doesn't work for you, you can do side angle or stay in the upright twist. Come back to our lunge. Lift that back leg and step forward, surrender over. Inhale up. Hands to heart. Take a few breaths here to ground yourself and integrate. And we'll take the right leg, inhale. And fold. Half lift, right leg steps back. Gently lower the knee. Inhale up into warrior one. Open into revolved warrior, turning towards your bent leg in front. Bring your hands to your heart, coming into prayer twist with your elbow on the outside of your leg. That doesn't work if you do revolve side angle or stay in the upright twist. Inhale back into your lunge. And step forward, surrender over. Inhale up. And hands down. Let's try a high version of that now. We'll start on the left leg. Bring our hands to our hips. And step the left leg back. Placing the foot on the floor at an angle, squaring your hips to the front short end of your mat. So you're in warrior one position, and inhale up. Again, looking forward or up, depending on your balance. Coming to vertical, let's open the arms and spin towards the front leg into a warrior two twist. And back to warrior one. And scoot yourself forward. Coming to Tadasana, hands in Anjali Mudra. We'll send the right leg back. Hands to the hips. Bending the right leg back. Placing that foot on the floor at an angle. Hips square to the front of your mat. Inhaling into warrior one. You bring the other thumb in front if you're using fetal position, or you could be using guys. And if it's safe for you, arcing back and looking up, or you can just look forward. And then opening into a twist, turning towards your front leg and looking over your shoulder away from it. Back to Virabhadrasana one. And scoot yourself forward. Good job. Let's come down onto our stomachs. Take a few breaths here. In crocodile pose. Heels out, toes in, surrender. And turn your head the other way. And let's bring the legs to parallel, bring the elbows in close, coming into a Sphinx pose. We'll slide the shoulder blades down the back and lift the head and neck. Walk those hands forward. Draw the floor towards you as you lift your heart and look up past your eyebrows. No crunch in the back of your neck. And if you'd like a little more pressing into the hands, lift the elbows, deepening the curve in your back, not lifting your shoulders. Come back down and surrender. Let's come into half locust, palms down, chin on the floor. Let's inhale, lengthen the right leg and lift it up, keeping your hips on the mat. Keeping the left leg soft. Bring that leg down and bring the other leg up, lengthening through the left leg and then lifting it. And lower that leg down and surrender, palms up, heels out. Let's roll over onto our backs. Bending the knees, feet flat on the floor. We're set to Bandhasana, bridge pose. Hands are at your sides. Spine is nice and long. Take a deep breath, press through the heels. Tip your tailbone towards the sky. Your spine should be nice and warmed up. Lifting as high as you like. You want to wriggle your shoulders underneath you and come into Yoga Mudra. Wriggle the arms out and roll down one vertebra at a time. Feel your whole back release onto the floor. Bring your knees in and give yourself a hug. Place the hands on the kneecaps and press the legs away till you have a right angle. And then lower the knees down to one side, stacking one knee on top of the other. Again, you can use your hand to help maintain that alignment. And then opening up away from your knees. And this makes the twisting a little more challenging, but it's getting you the twist in the right place. So you might want to put your hand up overhead if you can't reach the floor behind you, or you can put a prop under your arm. if that's better for you. Or just grounding with your fingers and not the whole arm, so that you're still keeping the hips, hip over hip and knee over knee. Inhale back towards the legs. Bring the knees back in, give yourself a hug. And then come to your right ankles and lower your knees the other way. And pressing one knee forward to stack the legs right over each other. And then opening out away from your knees. And you can have your hand overhead, using just your fingertips on the floor, or you could have your arm on a block or pillow. Or even just rest your hand on your hip. Remember to breathe nice and deep, exhaling tension away, surrendering your weight into the twist. Inhale back to center, one more nice hug. And if there's something you need for comfort in Shavasana, get that now. You can stay here as long as you like. And when you're ready, begin to bring some movement back into your fingers and toes. Gently move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. And roll to one side. And come to a seated position. Namaste.